Alright folks, we are back for another one. I'll take a quick pause, I'll let you guys guess what monster we're gonna fight today. Come on, any takers? Any takers? Alright, I'll tell you, it's gonna be Phantom Muspah. Hopefully I pronounced it correctly. But we're not gonna do it the smart way. There's a combination of mage and range gear you can take to this guy if you want to be most efficient with your kills. Some of that mage gear I don't have, and sometimes I just don't feel like switching a million times throughout a fight. I'm having to adjust everything, so instead of taking a bunch of armor swaps and all that, we're just going to walk in with our crystal armor. You can see we've got the Missouri hat there, or Missouri mask I should say, and then I've got my Bofa. So that's going to be what we use for the vast majority of the fight. And then once he gets to one of his final phases, he actually brings up the shield thing, which you have to take down in a unique way. And in order to do that, I'm going to switch to this Dragon Hunter crossbow and use some sapphire bolts in order to take down that shield strength, or whatever you call it. So we'll see how it goes. I think we've got a good shot at this one because it doesn't seem quite so complex as some of the other bosses we fought lately. But I also know that I've jinxed us quite a bit, so hopefully we don't die. So I am going to use my Ring of Shadows to teleport to the Gorok dungeon. This thing actually is located pretty closely to where the Duke is. We fought him earlier in the week. But here this time I think we have to walk down a little bit to the south. Hopefully I can find it. I believe there's a little wall crevice that we can sneak through. Yeah, right here. And that should be where Phantom Muspah is located. This is another one that I've not fought in a while, so even though I was laying out the strategy, like I said, we're going to use the Bofa for the most part, then we'll switch to our Dragon Hunter crossbow, but it's been a while for me, so we'll try to remember some of the stuff, the mechanics that go into the fight, and then I'll narrate here if there's anything particular that I think would be helpful for you guys. Before we dive in, if you wouldn't mind liking my video and then following my channel, we're still trying to get up to above 20 followers this week, so every single one is counting there, and I appreciate the support, guys. Let's get it. We're going to protect from range here. There he is. I think for the first phase, if he starts off in his range mode like he is right now, essentially we're going to protect from range and we'll just stand here and shoot him. When he switches to his melee mode, he's going to try to chase us down and hit us with his, I don't know if they're claws or fins or whatever they are. Whoops, I was supposed to protect from that. So anyway, now he's chasing us down. We're going to try to freeze him. We'll see if we get lucky there. We did not. This is not a good start, but we're not dead yet, so let's keep moving. I'm trying to use my spells to freeze him, but he's got some pretty good magic defense, and I'm not wearing magic gear. Okay, there we go, we got him. Ah, thought he was going to pause there. Maybe not. Maybe we don't have a good chance at this fight. I wonder if we just start shooting him. Maybe we can just run around him like Commander Ziliana. If we don't stop, maybe we might be the best technique here. This is out of desperation though, obviously. I did bring some stamina potions with me. I guess I kind of thought ahead that things might get sketchy. For this shadow thing, I believe we're supposed to stand, or I'm sorry, smoke, but we're supposed to stand right on this tile, and none of the smoke tunnel cloud things will be able to hit us as long as we're on that particular tile. So. just protected from that magic attack, so that's a good thing. Here's the magic attack again, so you can see I switched my prayer real quick. And now he is back in melee mode, so let's get the heck out of dodge. I'll switch to melee this time in case he catches me. Hopefully he won't be able to do much damage. Oops. Uh-oh. Why am I just standing here? Trying to heal up the best I can. This guy does not play around. Okay, he's back into range mode, so get that rocking. These tentacle things, we want to stay ahead of them on the map. We don't want them to be able to pop up where we're standing, or else they'll do some damage, obviously. That's the general theme of RuneScape. If stuff hits you, you get hurt. There's that mage attack again. We got him down to 330 health out of his original 850, so may not be the most efficient run, but we're doing pretty good for our first time. Let's just keep shooting him while we're here. Remember, pretty soon he's going to go into that shield phase where I'm going to have to switch my weapon and use those sapphire bolts. So don't forget that that's got to be a part of your strategy and a part of your gear set when you walk in. Uh-oh. We got stuck on those thorns or spikes, whatever you want to call them. This is where it would have been smarter to have like a mage set up so we could try to take him down that way, but just for simplicity we're going to stick with this, the range setup for the duration. I'm going to move over by these thorns because I think at one point he's going to do a special attack and I need to hide behind them, so I don't want to stray too far away from them. Okay, so he just switched into that shield form. You can see, what am I doing? There we go. I thought I was using the right bolts. It looks like we are, so we're taking down his purple shield health. And then after this, we'll put the Bofa back on and we'll finish him off. So it looks like this is his final phase now. I think we just keep protecting from range. If he switches to that magic attack, we'll protect from mage, but I think we're on the home stretch here. Hey guys, thanks for joining the chat. Appreciate you being here. We've not died yet. This is our first attempt, but I don't know, we got one fish left and he's got 63 health, so I like our odds. He's got 7 health. He's coming down to the wire here. Boom. Easy, guys, easy. We got a water orb for 33k. We got a palm tree seed for 36k, and we got this frozen cache. Let's teleport out of here, and we'll open up that cache, okay? Pretty good first attempt there, I'd say. Okay, inside that frozen cache was a black d'hide body. That's probably about 7k. So in one kill there, we made about, let's say 75k, maybe a little bit more. But pretty good for the 4 or 5 minutes that we put into that. Let's go back to the Grand Exchange. I'm just gonna hit the bank quick so we can get more fish, and then we'll go back and try it again. We only needed, looks like 2 sips of prayer potion while we were there. I didn't use any of my stamina. I do have a fairly high agility. I think it's level, I want to say 94? I'll double check that in a sec. I'm sorry, 92. So if you have a lower level agility, just be prepared to run if you're going to try to just use the range strategy like what I was doing. And then, of course, if you need more stamina, just make sure you bring that. So now we're going to use our teleport ring back to Gorok Dungeon. We're going to go a little bit south here. Reminder that if you were going to the Duke, he's actually northeast from where we teleported. But for Phantom Muspah, he's going to be down here in the southwest through this crevice. Once we go through here, you guys saw it last time, he's going to attack us immediately. So do not walk through this crevice until you're ready to fight. But I think we're ready to fight. Let's do it. Protect from range. Okay, and he did spawn in his range form, so we're gonna stay just how we are. I believe there is a chance that he could have spawned in his melee form, so if so, you would just want to make sure you protect from melee, and then do the whole run thingy. I'm sure we'll see that at some point. Okay, so we just switched forms. I am going to try to freeze him. I could have sworn when I did this last, which was a very long time ago, you could actually freeze him in place, at least for a few seconds. And then that would give you a chance to escape, at least run a little bit further. I would imagine that since I've got full range gear on and nothing that really helps with magic for the most part, that's likely why I'm not able to hit on him with my magic attack. Alright, let's just go back to the range thing. We're getting tired running around here. There's another cool strategy I saw for this melee phase online. I haven't attempted it yet, but I guess you can let him come up to you and try to hit you once. And you have to wait about 2 seconds, but if you time it right, you can then take a step back from him and just keep cycling through that, and he's going to keep following you and trying to hit, but he'll never connect. So that might be a less sweaty way to go about this than running around in rectangles for the whole fight, you know? I don't know what we're doing anymore. It's been a crazy week for us. You think I would just make these streams easier, just buy the gear that would really help here, but I feel like a lot of folks are in a similar position where you might not have like all the coins in the world, so you just kind of work with what you've got, you know? He's back into his range phase here. Reminder, when he goes into his smoke phase right now, we're going to stand on this one tile. There's a tile pack you can get for this. Maybe I can paste it in the stream comments later. But essentially you can upload that into Rune Light, and if you stand right there, those smoke things are never going to hit you. forgetting to watch the ground. I'm so busy looking at him, I'm missing those spike attacks. This Muspah does seem to do pretty well though, even when he's in his melee phase. We're hitting him enough that I'm not like super stressed over it. Just a tad bit sweaty, but this is nowhere near as bad as when we were like fighting Bardorvis earlier in the week and all the stuff that was going on there. If I'd stopped running straight into the spikes, I'd be okay. My stamina was pretty much at 0 there, so I just took a sip of that. Obviously this guy's not chasing us just to have a conversation, so let's get out of there before he kills us. Alright, we made it through that. Now these little spiky things are chasing us again. We're going to want to get some of those towards the middle of the map, because remember at the end he does that explosion thing and we need to be able to hide behind some of the spikes. So we're going to want these kind of conveniently placed for us. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you have other strategies that you found to be like super helpful here. I'm willing to try out new stuff. This is just how I thought it would be effective for me, not having been back here in a while. I wanted to try this way. But certainly let me know if you've got your own experience or other strategies we should check out. Hey Sound, thanks for joining the chat. I missed my magic attack, or my magic prayer. That one hurt a little bit. Let's see. I've got a lot of the playing area. Oh. Uh-oh. We gotta go. We almost died right there. That was sketchy. Luckily I got around the spikes just in time. We do have our Dragon Hunter bow out. We're using those Sapphire bolts again. Because that shield has a special ability and you need to weaken it before you can actually connect with the boss again. That's why we have to switch our setup at the tail end here. Okay, so now he's back in his regular form. So we're going to go back to the Muspah. Uh-oh, we're kind of boxed in here. Oh, that's not good. I don't know what happens if you're stuck in here. Oh no. Okay, it threw us out. That's actually an ideal outcome. I don't know if it would insta-kill us. He's got 27 health left. 1 health left. There we go. Hey, 2 for 2. Not too shabby. Let's pick up the stuff. Looks like we got about 20k worth of raw shark, another 23k worth of coal, and then some ancient essence. So that's a 50k drop right there. As much as I'd love to stay, we've got just a little bit less food than, excuse me, what I prefer. So anyway, excuse me, we're going to go fill up our inventory again, and then we'll come back for another one. Hey, this is pretty good, guys. 2 for 2. And I'll have to check. Let's see, I've only killed Phantom Muspah about, looks like 34 times now. And 32 of those kills were over a year ago. So that's pretty cool, you know, that we're just getting back into it. We've already got a pretty good success rate. I'll try to minimize my talking for this one. Let's just teleport back to the dungeon. We'll head south to the crevice, and we'll get started. I'll try to pay a little bit closer attention to the spikes this time, because I feel like if I don't take damage from them, honestly the rest of the fight has been okay. Of course, now we can't even land a hit. Come on. Gotta gain some traction here. Nothing. What is going on? There we go. Our first damage, a solid 9, we hit him. It's something though. It's better than a 0. I'm trying to keep the screen in a decent spot so you guys can actually tell what's going on, but with him constantly moving, it's a little bit tricky. What is going on here? This is crazy. But again, I guess my own fault. This is why we should be using magic, so it is what it is, right? I hope we get him out of this phase. Can you imagine if we're here for like an hour and he's just chasing us around the whole time? I feel like we're going to run out of energy well before he does. We can't seem to hit him. Okay, I was going to say above like a 15 or so. That was wild. Thanks for hanging with me. I didn't know if that was ever going to end. Now we're doing some damage. It's like he can relax once he gets into that range phase. Up. And he's back again. And I stood on the spike again. Just lovely. At least we're not getting hit, though. I feel like I'd be much more worried if he was still somehow able to attack us. And we're doing all this running around. Gonna drink some of my stamina there. Okay, so he sent those little spikes after us. You can see there's about 3 of them. Actually, just one, never mind. But that one that's behind him is trying to chase us down. So we just don't want that to catch us. and it would be a little convenient if we leave it somewhere near the middle. So that way when he does his end blow-up thing, we have something to hide behind. I don't know why I keep doing that. I just kind of watch it come up and hit me. I think I'm just overly focused on his body and trying to watch if he's going to do the magic attack. I've not been noticing that the ground is actually opening beneath me and that it's much more dangerous. So since he already did that one special attack where the spikes were chasing me, we know that he's going to do his smoke attack the next time. So that's when we're going to want to get over to that one tile where it says super, or I think it says super range during smoke. Yeah, right over here we'll get over there. And you can still click his smoke cloud and we're going to keep attacking him even though he's teleporting around. But as long as we stand on this tile, we're not going to take any of the smoke damage. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to try to get over here because I'm not sure when he's going to do that big magic explosion thing at the end. And I don't want to be stuck out in the open. Hey, I dodged a thorn. I never dodge thorns. It's a first time for everything. Okay, so I think one of my lessons learned here is that we shouldn't completely block off a path like what happened over on the north side. Because once he started attacking us there, like we've got nowhere to run to now. So that's kind of problematic. So if you can try to leave yourself a little gap, it'll probably make it a lot less sketchy of a fight for you. I was a little bit late switching my prayer there, that's why I took the damage. Not a huge deal as long as I recovered from it. Taking that shield down for some reason. It's not been our best run, or our easiest run in terms of doing damage to him. We had that wild start in the beginning, and now we're just kind of looking at each other at the end part. Alright, so this is it. Final phase here, so we just have to range him, and as he springs up more thorns, we just have to dance around them. Like right here, we'll try to get off of him. You guys might do a better job at that than I would, but... Some more. You can see we're running out of tile space, but we got him down. Oh, what'd we get? Green is always good. 148k worth of soul runes. plus some essence, and plus some gas. Or, yeah, gas. Some glass. Looks like molten glass, so over 150k in one kill there. That's alright in my book. Hopefully you guys are liking the stream so far. We're 3 for 3. Best day ever. Let's go back, we'll grab some more fish. I think once we get really proficient, I guess, at dodging those spikes, and certainly if you were using like a range/mage setup, you could probably get 5 or 6 kills without having to come back for more food. We already knew we weren't doing it the most efficient way though, so we're just gonna make this work, but pretty cool that at least we can teleport back and forth, so it's not like we have to walk like, 20 minutes to get there. We'll go back to the dungeon. Gonna go south to our favorite crevice. And once we get in, we will protect from range. If he's in melee form, we'll switch to protect from melee. He's range, so we'll just do our thing. I will ask again, guys, if you wouldn't mind liking my video and following my channel, that would be greatly appreciated. Still trying to grow up to above 20 followers this week, so we're well on our way, but certainly could use the additional support there. Alright, and we run. This thing always reminds me of a Triceratops for some reason. I don't know if it's because of the armor or whatever that is on his head, but definitely has an interesting look. We flew through that one. Did a lot more damage to him more quickly than we did the other times. I'm trying to get over to our smoke tile. Luckily I didn't get hit at all while we were moving there. That was lucky. Hey, I dodged a spike. And I've got video evidence. Hicks or it didn't happen. Ah, crap, what is that? Oh, that's right, the spikes, okay. I blanked for a second on what that second special attack was. I was hoping he wasn't exploding on us. I don't know how long those spikes go for. It seems like it's about 20 seconds or so. Let's just hide behind this set in case he does his explosive thing. Wow, guys, this has been pretty clean so far. I'm liking this one. It does seem like one of those bosses, though, where once you've done it like a dozen times, it seems like a lot of this really is muscle memory and kind of like a low-risk challenge, or a low-risk fight, I should say. Unlike some bosses that are completely sporadic, you don't really know what they're going to hit you with next. This guy seems fairly predictable, so that's cool. Just gonna max heal there just to make sure I'm ready. He's going back into his range phase now. Trying to get a guys. He's not the prettiest thing. I should stop messing around. I'm gonna get us killed. Okay, so now he's got his shield up, so we've got to switch to our Dragon Hunter bow and our Sapphire bolts. As you guys can see, and especially since I didn't take any damage until I was messing around a minute ago, we used up close to no food here. So it is possible, you know, even with the less than ideal setup, if you play your cards right, you can still take him down with like minimal damage, you know? He's in his final form now, so we just have to dodge all these spikes. And hope we don't run out of tile space. Every time he produces new tiles or new thorns, we lose that tile space, so it'll get a little bit sketchy if we don't kill him quick enough. We run out of places to go. Boom. We did it. Wow. There's another green drop. It looks like we got 113k from Rune Plate Legs, and then we got some Ancient Essence, so that's another 140 some K we got. All in a day's work. I think he's just gonna spawn again in a few seconds. I'm gonna put on Protect from Range just in case. Oh. And he actually spawned in his melee form, so I'll switch to melee, and now we'll do our running thing. This will be cool if we get 2 kills in one trip. You guys can see that it's really possible. You must believe. Trying to make better use of the tile space we have in the starting phase here. If you cut those corners too close, he's obviously just going to catch up to you quicker, and it just results in you having to run more and not being able to shoot quite as much. So I'm trying to go as close to the walls as I can to make him really work for it. Okay, now he's switching into his mage phase. I'm sorry, his range phase, not mage. Misclicked there as I was rotating my screen. I think this is... oh, okay. Thought it was going to be the smoke phase, but it looks like it's a special thorn attack. Oh, I ran out of stamina. I was like, why am I just hanging out here getting hit? So I took a sip of my stamina pot, so keep going. I guess sometimes it does not auto-route you away from those thorns, so just remember you have to manually click around them if you don't want to run into them. It kind of seems like my preference is to run into them, but obviously that's not helping. Now it's a bummer, we actually have the tile that we wanted to stand on for the smoke phase is blocked, so I'm going to stand on this one instead and hope for the best. But I have a feeling we're going to get hit here more than we would have on the other tile. And I just blew that on us anyway, so... This is getting quite a bit sketchy for us, because as you can see, we now blocked off the path that we were going to use to run in rectangles around him. So I'm probably going to take more damage here because I can't actually run the whole length of the map on this side. I don't really have a good way to predict where those thorns are going to go yet. I guess with experience you would learn that, but let's just try to dodge the smoke here. Wasn't horrible. I expected worse, to be honest. You can dodge most of the smoke clouds. I'm more worried about the fact that we don't have any runway here. Like, if we don't get him into his range phase soon, he might just melee me to death. So we gotta hope that we can get some lucky DPS hits on him. That he'll stay in range, or maybe his shield phase for the rest of this thing. Because if he goes into melee again, it's going to be a little bit tough, since we don't have anywhere to run. And he's in melee form. Great. Of course he is. We still have about 7 fish or so I'm not gonna overly panic just yet, but I gotta be honest that this isn't the best situation to be in. Oh no. We don't want a death here today. We've been doing so good. Let's run this way. Alright, we survived that one. Now he's back into his range phase, so... Oh. I think we'll be okay now. Because he's got his shield phase, and then he's got his range and his magic attacks, but... Other than that, I think he's done. Not have any fish left right now, so the 83 health we have, that's what we have to get through the fight here. So not much room for error. Okay, this is his final form, so as long as we survive those spikes, we made it. He's got, what, 63 health left? Alright. Boom. And it looks like we got another 150k or so. So this really seems to be a profitable boss, you know, like it's only taken about 7 or 8 minutes per kill, probably even less than that, honestly. We're making at least 100k for most of the drops we got, so that's awesome. And he's not hard to get to. So I feel like the Phantom is probably a boss we'll come back to over the next few days because it was a fun time, it was pretty chill, and made some good profit from it. But guys, I think we'll call it a stream for now, okay? If you wouldn't mind liking the video and following my channel, I would greatly appreciate that, and I appreciate you. I'll catch you next time.